Mentor event presents an ideal opportunity to meet with Ireland's best technology entrepreneurs, here on my right hand side, and to network with fellow students from across all disciplines within DCU. DCU is a University of Enterprise, and we hope to promote enterprise as a career choice. We hope to achieve greater partnerships, cross-faculty engagement, and indeed better networking opportunities for you all here today.
Why am I here? I'm here because this is an important event. It's important for 2 or 3 reasons. I'm just going to give you those very briefly. Perhaps the most significant thing about it is it's a student-led event. This was conceived by, organised by, run by students. We're hugely proud of that there, and in particular the 3 MEC students, the e-commerce master students, Gary Fox, John Walsh and Ed O'Riordan. First of all, congratulations to you. I know it's involved in running events, but the initiative shown by you in doing that is very important indeed. It's an entrepreneurial act in itself to take on to do that, and then to go through the whole learning exercise of establishing it. And look at the attendance. Look at the companies, the leaders of companies have decided to come along and share with you today, share with us. It's very significant. Any time an event like this is run, it's very significant that the founders of companies, the startups, they're always willing to share their expertise. There's a certain societal responsibility that must be in the minds of those that have founded companies to share the experience, because they know the future is dependent on you. There's no other way. There's no other way out of the situation we're in at the moment except through ourselves, through our own creativity, through our own entrepreneurship, through our own innovation. And that's through you, effectively.
And innovative ideas, and hopefully, you never know, we might get some high potential startup businesses from amongst the gallery of people who are here today. I certainly think that should be the ambition, and I hope this will help motivate people to go in that direction. After all, DCU has shown itself over the years to be a university of enterprise. The Ryan Academy here has nurtured and mentored many startup businesses through its Propeller Venture Accelerator scheme. In this regard, I understand that the majority of students attending here today will be engaged in projects involving, in theory, starting their own business. This, I believe, will entail developing a full business plan that could be launched as a business in September. An excellent and worthwhile project. So this is the kind of innovative discussion that we need, and I'm glad to be here for that reason. The truth is simple. We need to reshape many parts of the Irish economy based around young, hungry entrepreneurs developing world-class products and services and selling them to a wider global economy, which we are plugged into and leading in terms of innovation. It is a massive task, but from my point of view, I'm up for it. As I said, I am a former e-business manager. I'm a former e-business graduate. I have a MBS in e-business, and we do have the best minds in the world. I firmly believe in that. I see it every day, everywhere I go, and I believe we need to harness it.
You know, entrepreneurship is a personal journey. It's a journey that's relevant to you at any given time, depending on where you are in that cycle. So I went into NCB, spent a bit of time there, got to see, you know, what types of businesses get funded, what types of businesses don't get funded, got to see how a proper business was actually set up and run and how it was managed, and got to work with some great people. But I still had this underlying, deep-seated ambition to go and do something myself. It's a great expression. And I guess I asked myself, well, you know, what am I going to do? And as I say, I had no good ideas. So anyway, cut a long story short, I decided to leave NCB and to go and find some form of entrepreneurial endeavour. I guess the key thing is to understand that you really, really, really need to want to do it, okay? Because what you're going to hear over the next few minutes is a story of why you have to have that persistence and why you have to have that deep-seated desire. And I guess if you don't have it now, then maybe it isn't the path for you. And unless you are some type of super genius and you've got every type of skill that you could possibly need, there's no way you're going to be able to do it as a one-person band. So let's take that on board.
You've got to have people that you spend 12, 16 hours a day with, and you got to like them. You got to get along. And they are the ones that kick you when you're going off on a tangent somewhere and you want to go and try and boil the ocean, right? They're the ones that pull you back. The other important thing about having a team is that none of you, and I can tell that with absolute certainty, can do everything you need to do in your companies. Not one of you. you're going to need a composition of people. And I think the minister said something about not wanting to sell because you're doing it online. I'll get to that in a moment. But all of you need salespeople. If you're not the sales guy, you will need somebody in the company that can sell. Whether it's an idea, whether it's a product, a service, everybody, all these guys are sold. You also need somebody who can build things. Could be a coder, could be somebody who's actually building a physical product. Could be the service deliverer, somebody who's going out to clients and delivers a service. But you're going to need somebody who's, that product effectively, right? Or building it. And then you're going to need something like a designer. Somebody who can make whatever it is you have to sell. If you need feedback on your product, and you all need feedback on your product or your service or whatever you're delivering in order to validate the idea, because even 3 people might come up with a crazy idea that nobody else wants, go around to them to get that feedback. Normally it would say, well, I need 1,000 people, I need 2,000 people. You'll get most of the feedback you need from 15 people. Actually, you get 100% from 15 people on that one iteration of whatever it is you do. If you want to get 70%, this research showed, if you want to get 70%, you only need 5 people. 5 people. Who doesn't know 5 people that you can go to? And even better, 5 people in your target segment that you've already defined.
I think if I look back at my own career, I think I'm with Realex over 7 years now in March. So that's double the amount of time that I've done any of the rest of those jobs. But whether you become an entrepreneur or whether you join a company, one of the things that I found that will greatly influence that decision is the size of the company. So I started with an investment bank that had 20,000 people. I moved on to a banking software company that was 500 people. Then it was the software security startup that had 20 people when I joined. Then I went out by myself, which was a company of 1. That didn't work. I went back in and I was employee number 14 in Realex. So one of the things that I found is certainly, if you decide that entrepreneurship is not for you, I think there can be a halfway house with regard to the size of the company. In Ireland, it really is a case of find someone that you think can help you and pick up the phone.
But one of the other important things I think to do, and I just did this just before I came here, just try and figure out yourself what are the things that you want to be able to help you grow your idea. So what is your network? How are you going to, do you have that 10,000 for example? Because a lot of the things that you hear about funding out there, a lot of the people who are looking to invest will only do it at in fact later stage. So most of you are probably all very, very early stage. So maybe there's grants and research aids available to you. There's also the startup centres, the enterprise centres, the incubators, the research centres. So be it the Ryan Academy, be it Startup Bootcamp, be it Hothouse. But just find out and educate yourself about all these, and they'll all generally have subtle differences about what type of companies that they support.
We started in 2004, we're 8 years at it, hard to believe. My brother Mick and I started. We did a funding round of 560,000 in 2 days before Christmas 2008. We started in May actually. Everything was fine. Houses were still being sold for 15, 40, 60 million. Layman's happened in October, and tell you that was fun getting over the line. But we launched in UK in 2005 and 2008, I believe. It didn't work in 2005. We were 2 guys trying to attack 2 markets. We have the largest online automotive European catalogue, 18 employees, up from 10 last year, and we'll fulfil 80,000 orders this year, up from 44,000 last year. If I was starting again tomorrow, I'd have 3 key people. I wouldn't start a business without it. You need a developer, lock them down, absolutely. You need a sales and marketing guy. For us, it's someone who knows and understands the online sphere. And secondly, you need someone who understands the metrics of the business and knows how to turn it up and sell it and get strategic behind it, i.e. present it, etc.
If you've ever failed in a business, and I'm sure some of you might already have, or even the minister was saying, I think he had a failed business. It's the biggest learning curve you could ever have, and it's probably the one reason why people don't start businesses is the pure fear of failure. They all have to start somewhere. All these guys started. Richard Branson started out selling magazines in his downstairs in his gaff. Zuckerberg started in the exact same position that you guys are now. Same with the guys in Google. They started in a sort of a spin-out project. So they all start somewhere. Even though you're looking at him now and he's flying to space, those guys are, started from very humble beginnings. And just to sort of show you that even though we're in terrible times at the moment, there's just 3 companies that have picked out quickly. Apple, biggest company in the world, MTD, Microsoft, all started in recessions, really, really bad recessions. And look at where they are now. So starting a company, people will tell you in a recession, is actually a very, very good time to start, because when the economy does turn, you'll be in a fantastic place.